Well, 13 Investigates has been following the tortured journey of a Las Vegas teen battling a rare disorder.
And so tonight, though, we are happy to report that the young man is finally able to walk again after really braving this spinal surgery. But his family's war right now is certainly far from over. And Chief Investigator Darcy Spears now exposes the dark cloud hanging over this medical miracle.
The rare disorder we're talking about is called Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, or EDS. It affects the connective tissue so that joints extend far beyond the normal range. Imagine a contortionist defying human limits. And while it might look cool for some, for others it involves extreme pain and unstable joints that easily dislocate. Kendall Killman suffers from Ehlers-Danlos. That means missing out on so much of growing up. The chronic pain so unbearable, he had to quit school. Most of his youth spent between being confined at home, the doctor's office, and hospital visits.
Horrible social life because of this.
In the fall of 2019, we asked Kendall what he missed most.
Walking.
At the time, his days were filled with excruciating and chronic pain, forcing him to use a wheelchair. But look at him today, able to walk at least a little, and for him, that means a lot.
Initially coming out of the hospital, it was extreme. I was elated because the pain from my spine was completely alleviated.
May of 2009, he was diagnosed with a mild form of scoliosis.
It's a miracle of sorts, considering the years-long journey of being misdiagnosed and dismissed by doctors while his mother, Trudy, navigated the Medicaid system.
2015, pain amplification syndrome was added to the diagnosis.
But a huge breakthrough came in September 2019. Kendall's mom found Dr. Petra Klinge, a Rhode Island neurosurgeon specializing in Ehlers-Danlos. Dr. Klinge confirmed Kendall also suffered from tethered cord syndrome, a serious complication some EDS patients develop.
I took him to Dr. Klinge, and within 10 minutes, we had a diagnosis that took us 11 and a half years to get to. Just like that. You get the children to the right doctors, and we get results.
Last January, Kendall and his mom traveled back to Rhode Island for a delicate surgery to open his spinal column and release the spinal cord so it could move freely.
3 hours later, he came out of surgery, and we had the discussion with Dr. Klinge about the release and how some of the filaments had wrapped themselves around some nerves in his legs, and we hoped for the best.
6 months later, Kendall's mom captured a miracle on camera. Video of her son not walking, but running on a beach.
That's awesome, Kay.
A bright spot on an otherwise long road to recovery that's been marred by many tough days.
And because his diagnosis took so long, normally the surgeries are completed by the time the children are babies, or maybe 5 or 6. Kendall was 17 and a half. His recovery, of course, will not be as successful as younger patients.
And for that, Kendall and his mom say the system is to blame.
I still envy anybody who is able to walk around on a consistent basis without assistance.
Amid the emotional ups and downs, Trudy remains hopeful.
It's unbelievable. When he is having great days, I cry. When he's having bad days, I cry. This is a roller coaster ride.
Especially because there's still more to fight than Kendall's condition.
We are battling the system. The same issues we discussed about in August have been given me one-line explanations, and we've not had access to speak to anybody within the Medicaid system that either sets the policies or in the financial department that can explain to me, when I follow protocol, why am I not getting reimbursed?
Reimbursed for more than $10,000, including $3,000 for travel expenses for the initial consult with the Rhode Island specialist, and $6,000 for a 6-month homeopathic protocol to boost Kendall's immune system. All that and much more have been paid for with credit cards and refinancing the family's home.
The $10,000 would mean that I have a cushion again. I have no cushion. We have expended everything out of our savings accounts, and we rub nickels together to survive right now.
Part of their survival is sharing their experience, strength, and hope with others suffering from EDS.
Hang in there. Trust your journey. There's people out there that feel your pain. I'm always available to speak to anybody.
And that's exactly what she's done. Just last week, we connected Trudy with another family after a young Las Vegas woman reached out to us. She'd recently been diagnosed with EDS and was seeking support from someone who understood her struggle. As for Kendall's ongoing battle with Medicaid, the Nevada Department of Health and Human Services told us they cannot discuss individual patients, but they did send a statement. The statement says in part, "We assure you that Nevada Medicaid is sympathetic to difficult cases, demonstrated by staff that are in constant contact with people in challenging situations, and that Nevada Medicaid can only reimburse for services that are federally and state approved." We have the full statement on ktnv.com. Darcy Spears, 13 Investigates.